Right, if this thing works, this is the first video I'm probably going to be doing on YouTube, at least for now. I'm a complete mess because I've just got in from buying ingredients, and in here is 150 grams of butter, 75 grams of caster sugar and 200 grams of flour, and it's for shortbread because we're making shortbread. So basically I'm just going to have to knead all this together with my hand because I do not own a food processor, because they're a waste of bloody money when you do it yourself. And we're going to be making Millionaire shortbread, or to some people that's basic shortbread with caramel. Now I've never actually done this before, so it's going to be a bit of a interesting experience, you could say, because I've never done it before. I've got some condensed milk for caramel with dark muscavado sugar, hopefully that'll work, and butter. So hopefully that'll make good caramel. And I've got some Cadbury's dairy milk for the, I should say milk chocolate, for the coating for that. So whilst I'm doing this, because I've got a bit of a low battery life and memory in the camera right now, I'm going to have to stop recording and just come back in about 5 minutes or so after I've done everything and basically put what this is going to become. I'm going to put that into a baking tray, which is just behind the baking paper or greaseproof paper, depending on which way you want to look at it. And I'm going to put that in the oven, which is on behind me, for 150 for about 20-25 minutes. But when basically I'm going to show the image of this being in the baking tray and then the caramel being made. But because low memory life and possibly battery life, I will just break this video up a little bit. Anyway, see you in about 5 minutes. Clean hand. Bye. Right, so bit of a blunder, camera automatically turns itself off. So the thing is, the shortbread's in the oven, and it is just under this cat towel right there, as you can hopefully see quite clearly. Hopefully there's the baking paper on the covering it between that and the baking tray, so it's easy to remove, and I poked holes in it. So in about 5-10 minutes I'm going to work on the caramel, and I will make sure to turn the camera back on at that point because this is all a learning curve for me, and I will see you then. Okay, so this concoction is 50 grams of dark muscavado sugar, about 60 grams of butter, and a full tin of evaporated or condensed milk, whichever way you want to go about it. And I'm going to heat this up on a low heat, which I should turn on now, for about 10 minutes or so, until it turns a caramelly colour, and then I just camera strap. Anyway, but then I'm going to wait for it to thicken up a little bit as you're heating it up, then pour it on top of the shortbread, which is coming along nicely in the oven, as you can now clearly see. Hopefully, just to give you a bit of zoom in there, and hopefully that will turn out to be a very, very nice thing indeed. But I've also got the chocolate, the milk chocolate, which is here next to the butter, and that will hopefully turn out to be very good, as we just give a little panoramic view of the kitchen that I have to work in. But yeah, hopefully this will all turn out well, delicious, and basically I'll come back to you in say 5-6 minutes my time. It's probably going to be a flash cut to you guys, but anyway, back shortly. I have been stirring this caramel for about 20 minutes now. Did what I read to do, which was to heat it slowly, then bring it to the boil, and then stir it slowly again. I mean, it didn't boil as in bubble, but that's because I kept stirring it. But you know, I think the caramel is a disaster, but I think the shortbread, which is due to come out the oven in a minute or two, will be okay. But I think the fact that I've tried to do caramel is going to just completely bugger everything up, and but it's just not thickening. I've done what the recipe was roughly telling me to do, which is kind of condensed milk, butter, sugar, but you know, at the end of the day, apparently it's just completely buggered up, and I may have used the wrong sugar, I may have put too much butter in, I may have used too much condensed milk. It said a tin recipe, but you know, maybe it didn't mean a tin, maybe I had to do something else, and honestly I don't really think it's gonna do anything really. I mean, if anyone tells me that I did all the right things, I just wasn't persistent enough in just caramel, then maybe I'll try it again, but I don't think I can try this again. I mean, maybe if I had golden syrup to it, that would help thicken it up a bit with golden syrup, but at the end of the day I'm not entirely certain, so back in a few more minutes, I guess, when the shortbread comes out of the oven, which may actually be now. So I'll just put this on the oven. Blue and shortbread gold. Yeah, it's quite firm-ish to the touch, so I think that's done. So I'll just have to leave this out now to there you go, just look at that if you can. Got this, ignore the swinging doobry, what's it? Camera lens, that's the one I was looking for, not camera lens, camera cover. Just look at this here, just grab tray and this over there. There you go. It's going to stir the caramel, as it could be called, if you want to call it that these days. It's a bit more, it's got a little bit of a bit too close and personal there. Got a little bit of a skin to it, I think, because I didn't stir it enough. But you know, at the end of the day, I just think it's fucked. You know, it's going to be blunt about that. But the shortbread looks like it'd be alright. I mean, it's quite golden browny, but I'm partially colourblind, so I wouldn't really know exactly. But you know, here is the caramel, as it were. The shortbread, sorry. Ignore the thumbprint. I was a bit dumb and just touched it while it was cooking. So anyway, back in a couple of minutes, I guess. Okay, I've had a bit of a breakthrough with the caramel. If you could just quickly look at this now, it's on a high heat. I'm stirring it, but it's going to bubble up, and it has been bubbling up a lot, and then just kind of like really rapidly risen. And so I'm going to have to just do this. It thickened up last time, so hopefully it'll thicken up this third time. Doing it third time because 3 times the bleeding charm. And then after I've done it again here, I'm going to put it onto this other hob, which is low heat, and then hopefully it'll start to thicken up, and then I'm going to have caramel for the shortbread, which is over there on the side. I'm just looking at hopefully looking at the caramel on the camera, so hopefully that'll see it's bubbling up really quite a lot. Anyway, back to baking. Okay, so I boiled it a lot, and I've just been having it on the hob here for a few minutes now, and as you may be able to see, the spoon that I am using is getting really caramel covered, and the mixture is thickening quite a lot, and there's definitely caramel forming on the sides of the pan around the edges where it's swirling around, and basically it's kind of like an ocean where the tide comes in and out, so wherever it sort of slides around from where I've been stirring it, it hardens into a caramel substance. So I just need to keep stirring it, I think, for an extra few bunch of minutes until the entire thing just thickens out, and then it can go onto a shortbread. So hopefully this will go hopefully this will go swimmingly well, and if it doesn't, then bollocks. If it does, then wonderful. Anyway, another few minutes and we will see. Okay, so the caramel kind of worked. I've tasted it and it didn't kill me. I'm not dead, so that's a bonus. It tasted like caramel, looks like caramel. Just going to wait for it to harden a bit, and I'll just cut the little bit of overflow there and over here away. But other than that, it's worked out pretty well, I think. So yeah, we're all good. Okay, I'm back with melted chocolate, and the shortbread has caramel smothered all over it. So I'm just going to pour the chocolate here onto the caramel. I'm just going to put the tripod over here, and yeah, that's a decent enough view. And so hopefully this works well, and hopefully there's enough bleeding chocolate to layer up over this bleeding thing. Obviously I'm going to have to spread it some, but I don't know if it's enough. There's about 110 grams of chocolate used. I've got a 200 gram bar, so hopefully it will be enough. I'm just going to have to manually spread it along. I used a microwave to melt this, by the way, because we don't have a pan deep enough to do it any other way. So yeah, this is the only way forward, as it were. But yeah, should be alright. Hopefully, anyway. I have let the caramel cool down some, but I don't know if it's cool enough because it's still a bit thin. Not thin! That was my father, in case you were wondering. He's a bit of a knob when it comes to stuff like this, by always winding me up and getting me bleeding going. But that's just the way he is. So the caramel's still alright. It's not very thin. It's quite thick, actually, the caramel, because it's not moving a whole lot, as you can see. But may have needed a little bit more chocolate, but I think it will suffice with what we've got. So yeah, and if I'm mumbling, it's because I'm not used to doing recordings. I'm just doing it because, you know, I feel like it on a whim. So yeah, that's a bit hard, that chocolate, but screw it, it's fine. Could have done with a little bit more time in the microwave as well, but it's just a bit of a weird bit of chocolate, but yeah. So the chocolate's on, and it's mostly okay. You know, I use the term mostly because it is mostly okay. Could have done with a little bit more chocolate maybe, and maybe a little bit longer in the microwave, but other than that, it's all good and all fine. Yeah, it's very nice actually. Very nice chocolate. And so this just needs to go in the fridge. And I don't know if I can't really put it in the rack, so I'll figure that out myself, but at the end of the day, that just needs to go in the fridge. It's done, it's completed, and that's the end of the video. So have fun, and hopefully you've learnt how to make caramel shortbread, and hopefully you'll do it better than what I did. Bye for now.